So what can you do? Well, I wrote this book and gave it away for free. I give it out to our homeless. It's a good start to understand where the problem is coming from, to understand that we're each responsible for either creating it or allowing it. Because in any dysfunctional dynamic, you have the initiator. So you could say, who sponsored the bill in San Rafael to make sleeping in a car illegal? Now, you have to be pretty cold to focus on that because nobody wants to sleep in their car. I'm sure you could go around to every one of our homeless and say, here's a key to a mansion, or you could sleep in your car. Which would you rather, right? Nobody wants to sleep in their car. The fact that people sleep in the car means that within the culture we've designed and the housing market we've engineered through a whole variety of monopoly legislation, that sleeping in the car is the best thing they know how to do. But is that why they went to school, so that one day they could live in a sociopathic culture and get by sleeping in their car? Of course not. So why pick on them? Why make them into criminals rather than the people that drove up the cost of housing beyond the ability of 60% of Marin residents to comfortably afford a house? So just becoming educated about what's artificially driven up the cost, because we're not in a free market economy. This is a dictatorship. It's do these 1,000 things or have your property taken away and be arrested and thrown in jail. It's that simple in Marin. Now you can ask them, why does it cost $1,400 to get a permit to do pruning on a bay tree? Well, if they have time over the next couple of months, they might get back to you, whatever, but this is just the code. We're enforcing the code. That's my bill, by the way, for pruning a bay tree. They don't distinguish between severe pruning, where the bay comes back from its roots for slope stability, and killing a tree. Their codes are not sophisticated enough for that. So I have to then pass on the cost of $1,400 extra money for cutting a tree that cost $30 to prune. $1,400. That's Marin County. That's how the cost of housing gets up. Now I can afford all of this money, right? I own a company. I can afford it. But 60% of Marin residents cannot afford to buy my house from me after I've paid all of this rubbish to support bureaucrats who can't even respond to permits on a timely manner at $30,000 in a monopoly market, you know? I can afford it. Our homeless cannot. And I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy comparing my experience with Marin to my experience building 2 homes by age 23 in Washington State. $2,000 and $1,800 for my permits. Much more intelligent policies. More affordable housing. Surprisingly, no homelessness. So we've engineered the crisis with incompetent building enforcement laws. You have to understand where it's coming from. Read the book, it's free. Give it away, it's free. Contact your building department. Contact your mayor. Homelessness in Marin is the single biggest humanitarian crisis in this county. If you are a human being rather than a reptile and a capitalist, and not all capitalists are reptiles, but it is an interesting hierarchy. Why aren't we humanists? Why isn't the focus on taking the people who are in the most vulnerable state in our county and bringing a sense of survival and security to their lives. I mean, if we were humanists, that would be the obvious thing to do. As a capitalist, why would we do it? Because we'd have to spend money. We wouldn't get anything back, right? Why would we do that? They're only human beings. These are dollars. See, there's something a little twisted about inventing a concept called money. It's just paper or gold or whatever it is. It's a concept that human beings invented. But what kind of human being places the invention, the golden egg, ahead of the golden goose that laid the golden egg? Human beings made it up. Human beings make the money. Human beings invest the money. Human beings are not less valuable than the things that they make. That's dumb. So there's nothing wrong with making money into money, but at the expense of human beings, that's a little twisted. It's not very intelligent, particularly when it costs more money to wage all the wars with all the people you piss off by treating them poorly because you pretend that money is more important than their well-being. If you go around the world treating money as more important than human beings, there will be a lot of pissed off human beings because no sane human being thinks that they're worth less than bits of paper. Now you have to spend all those bits of paper fighting wars and defending yourself legally and otherwise against people who know it's wrong to kill people incrementally or all at once to get more money. It's wrong to take shortcuts in medication to make a little extra, for the family that invented OxyContin and hid all the information about the addiction, creating the opioid crisis so that they could get rich. That's wrong. Money is not more important than human beings. But if you're raised capitalist rather than raised humanist, because how many Christians would actually put our homeless ahead of money? It's a disturbing fact. You can read the book. You can give copies of the book out. Go and give the PDF out, right? It's free. Anyone can read it on their phone. I'd also like to design an app. Of course, I've gotten zero support in this in local governments because it would provide power to our homeless. The press is kind of the counterpoint to corruption in government. Well, an app that allows our homeless to directly communicate with the public could reveal some stupidity in government. So, of course, nobody wants to fund it. I fund my own nonprofit exclusively at the moment. I contribute $50,000 a year to this organization and take no salary. And the most important project in Marin is obviously solving the most important humanitarian issue: why people cannot afford a safe, legal place to sleep. The app, I think, is a tremendous way to get stories directly to the public and also empower, a variety of intelligent flows of energy between our homeless and people that want to help. I went to our nonprofits and I said, I've got 5 jackets. How do I get them to our homeless? They said they have no idea. I had to drive around the streets. Do you need a jacket? Do you need a jacket? How many people have time for that? An app can facilitate those types of flows. So, you can contribute money to the development of that app. The core module will cost around $30,000. That's a great start, a little bit of, because once the app works for Marin, we can give it to the rest of the country, right? There is no good app to facilitate the intelligent movement from homeless people to housed people in the country. Nobody has, all of the Silicon Valley app developers around here, that hasn't occurred to them. Because they're capitalists, right? That doesn't help them make money, right? It doesn't help me make money either, but it helps me feel a little bit more human. And so you can look at the link below this video for the app. Look at the design, and if that makes sense to you, please fund it. And if it doesn't, do your own thing. Show me a better idea, and I'll support you. The goal should be to end homelessness as quickly as possible, because we are spending public money to create it. And we could be saving that public money if we would just stop enforcing the laws that create homelessness to start. So thank you for watching. Please ask your representative to watch this video, because many of them have no direct interest or access in this data. And it's an important set of data. And ask anyone to do an interview with me. You need about 3 hours to go into the nuance of things so that the public can come away, informed. It's not a PR campaign to look good or look bad. It's a process of analyzing ideas and their pros and cons and educating more of the public. So thank you for watching.